Who taught you, please, who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God gave you.
Now, what would happen if we as black men would say, in order to be a man, we must own the economic systems of our neighborhood? That I don't feel like we are full men when we let Korean men, Arab men, and all of these white men and other people stay in the midst of our people and take the wealth of our people. How can we look ourselves in the eye and say that we're men? This black man, you see, has been duped by this religion into hating money and hating wealth. And I try to tell black people, we are wealth-producing people. Where do we get this thing here of identifying with poverty? Where do we get this craziness of seeing poorness and goodness as the same thing and seeing virtue in poverty? We have to get it from the other people. It doesn't make any sense. There's no greatness in being poor and poverty-stricken. In fact, there's great sin that flows out of poverty. Yeah. Look who hits you over the head. Rich folk. Are they the ones mugging you out here? No, poverty is not automatically virtue. But of course, you see, the other people, in order to rob us and keep us poor, makes us associate virtue and poverty. You see? And so it is not enough for us to merely understand the biological mechanisms of disease, but we must come to understand the political, social, and economic mechanisms of disease, you see. So you can begin to see where an Afrocentric education and African-centered education is so different from what we're getting today. It's not just preparing for jobs and skills and that kind of nonsense. It's about life and surviving and overthrowing and being liberated as a people. Because I tell you, you could die with these skills. The accumulation by black people of mere knowledge and the accumulation by African people of mere skills in no way provides protection for us as a people. It's not going to do it. The young man here who made an announcement introduced a very, very important concept. And that's that concept of a nation within a nation. And if you're not discussing a nation within a nation, if you're not thinking of yourself as a people separate and distinct in this country and operate as such, you are wasting your time accumulating knowledge and information. You're going to die black and proud. Yes, it's not enough to become Afrocentric in your knowledge. It's not enough to collect skills. Skills and knowledge must be organized under the general purpose of the people themselves. The rest, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The working of whites in this country, even though they may see they're going to their jobs as individual activities, the sum total of those individual activities represents the strength of this nation. They represent its capacity to militarily defend them against their enemy. They're going to work with their skills represents the power of this nation to dominate in the world. They may think that they're personal, that they're just going for their own personal reasons, but because they have a nation and they're going to work is subsumed under national goals. And their very jobs actually are created or phased in and out based on national policy. These jobs just don't occur simply because somebody happens to want to hire you. The very nation itself, through tax policies, through political policies, through subsidizing certain industries, through grants and other things, transforms occupational levels. And it will, and you will see then the state or the nation transforming occupations dependent upon what its enemies are doing. Some of you were here when the Russians sent up the Sputnik.
Yo, what is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, Anthony? You're a man. I got you. So I'm only coming on here now because yesterday, although it was very interesting, but I didn't really get a chance to talk about what I wanted to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But and no offense to anybody or like nothing like that, but it did kind of display several of the things that I was talking about. And, this clone thing, it may be true, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to finish what I was saying. And especially after listening to Cassandra live just now, y'all subscribe to Cassandra because she was like talking on all the points that I was going to say. So like, this one, I'm going to just be quick through. I'm going to just go through it and then I'm going to get up out of here. This one is not, I'm going to try not to be super long on this joint. So, I'm just going to finish what I was saying. You feel me? So let me start. Okay. All right. So I was talking about the education system and I got another one that happened, you know what I'm saying, recently. I was talking about how you even get in the situation in the first place, right? Because even in that movie I was talking about, right? I know whether you like the movie or not, it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at it and seeing several things that kind of resemble like what is going on in real life. Maybe, you know, we just don't understand, or maybe it's just good and whatever. But the way that you get this way, because they even had the young kids at the beginning, who do you think they looking up to? Talking about, put me on as a young kid, put me on, you know what I'm saying? And that's the mentality that, you know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about, oh, okay, yo, yeah, okay, my brother. I thought it was somebody else. Yo, my brother Bobby. Yo, shouts out to you, my brother. Well, yeah, so I started with the education thing and all of it kind of got messed up. I could skip what I was showing yesterday, but you know, this one here is, just an example of what we have seen continuously, you know what I'm saying? How we get to this first situation, right? Because we could talk about whatever other groups, but like they put their money where their mouth is. They create institutions for their children. And that's what we got to worry. Well, I don't want to say got to, but I still have to, I guess, but I just want to show this, right? Because the removal of black principals in Chicago, right?
Afternoon to the both of you. Crump is saying that really all they are asking for is due process, especially in these three cases, but system-wide. He said CPS is corrupt and needs to be held accountable.
We have to look at.
Speaking of like the clones that's in the thing, you know what I'm saying? That's in that movie. And I don't know if you saw that movie, Bobby. They probably be like, I'm tripping because I watched it, you know what I'm saying? But that they cloned Tyrone Jones. But this dude, you know what I'm saying, could probably be fit the bill here, you know what I'm saying? How they got these reverends and these preachers and these attorneys that go around doing this thing. Like, we don't know what time period we in, you feel me?
The whole education system, right, and see where else they're attacking our children.
What are you talking about?
Because now more than ever, we have to affirmatively
Speak up for our children's future.
Are not credible and are based on their race. Abdul Muhammad was the principal at Lindblom Math and Science Academy on the South Side. He was removed in March of this year for undisclosed reasons. Gerald Morrow.
Yeah, I think it's a good movie, my brother. And it touched on a lot of real stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, is the concept of they cloned, you know what I'm saying, which you think Tyrone's supposed to be. And they're used in our community. I'm just saying, like, how such thing could happen to where you are doing the same thing over and over with really like clones of yourself, you know, how it could start, you know.
Was removed as principal of Dunbar Vocational Career Academy late last year, also for a CPS investigation that it would not elaborate on. And Kimberly Gibson, the district moved to dismiss her, according to the Tribune, over the handling of student safety. Gibson was the principal of the began its investigation. Many of the speakers called school. She helped to rename Harriet Tubman. Trump said she was the target of racist tweets after the district began its investigation. Many of the speakers called on CPS to, quote, end their racist practices.
A report that CPS tried hard not to release, that exposes the...
Like, if this ain't straight out of a movie, I don't know what is. But the problem is, it's been happening over and over and over for you to be like, you know what I'm saying, it's whatever. Maybe, like, you know, they're producing them over and over. You feel me? But I'm just saying, like, what my response is, though, you know what I'm saying? What I show these videos is for us to understand, right? We see how this works, you know, but yet and still over and over, we say, hey, why don't you let this white girl educate my children for 8 hours a day? You best to let me in, instead of saying, you know what? Let's go ahead and make our own stuff, you know. And why do I show that? And it may or not be because where are they? You feel me? Like, where is the institutions? You know what I'm saying? And the ones that I know that I have institutions, you know, they can tell you the same thing about lack of support and how it's hard, but they still do their thing. But the point is, we go to, you know, every other thing about it. But of course, you know, what do you think happened to the black male role models, right? You know, the role models for the future, you know what I'm saying? Like, who do you think that they're imitating? They're becoming replicas of you, and then you looking at them like, oh, look at what you are. You know what I'm saying?
All of the racist smears,
Quote, the district has comprehensive procedures in place to thoroughly investigate.
Right. So, you know, they kicked them out, right? So I'll skip past this, right? And I was also going to show this one, right? Because they was talking about harmful products and stuff like that, you know. And this is a true thing, like, you know, and this was just from a couple of days ago, but I'm going to play this one. I'm not going to play all of it, but just to get an idea.
Products for sale? They're banned in some countries, but are still sold all over the world, despite being known to cause skin cancer.
Skin bleaching is very pervasive. It's a global practice, and it affects people everywhere in the world.
Skin lightening is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and 80% of people who buy skin whitening products are women.
When Europeans decided to take on this globalization mission, what they brought with them in terms of trade and religion, they also brought their beauty standards. And European beauty standards don't really work in indigenous communities.
Skin lightening products are known to cause cancer. Why take the risk? The answer is tied to centuries of oppression.
I'm going to walk into this room and people aren't going to think I'm intelligent because of the way I look. I'm going to go into this job interview and I have a lower chance of getting this job because I am darker skinned, and they probably don't think that I'm capable. These are thoughts that, you know, people have all the time.
Humanitarian Delacia.
Yeah, so we understand that that can be dangerous, and these are effects of what happens when you don't do what you have to do when you are in this trance. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about it's crazy because even in their country, the most beautiful black lady, first lady, was a black woman, even in their country, right? So it's just ironic. But, you know, there was, you know, well, speaking of that, because a lot of the things that pointed out, the stuff that, like, you know, when they was talking about the chemicals they put in your hair, you know what I'm saying, and how they was like, yo, well, the black woman, she was like a dime a dozen. She didn't even have to get cloned because you just, you know, what you are. You feel me? And it is true that black women are the most unprotected. And then on top of that, the dangerous things that we do to ourselves. You feel me? So, you know, that was in the thing. And look, in the real world, you know what I'm saying? This is some of the effects. I don't know which one to play, but um this is the real. I'll choose this one just because it's shorter.
These suits are here.
But you know, that's the purpose. And they had it in the joint when they was like, you know, the perms and all of that stuff. It just put them in a trance and like, you know, makes them unconscious and
National
do the same
Institutes of
things over
Health
and
out with
over.
a startling new study. Researchers finding women who use chemical hair straighteners may face a higher risk of developing uterine cancer. While that form of the disease is relatively rare, the study shows people who applied chemical straighteners more than 4 times a year faced a 4% risk, compared to the 1.6% for those who did not use such treatments.
For women with uterine cancer was about double compared to women who did not use those products.
The study tracked more than 33,000 women for almost 11
Crazy how they used all. In this case, they used all people of color, quote unquote. But guess what, right?
years. And while researchers did not find race or age had any impact on risk level,
Oh yeah, no race or age has any impact except.
they do note the adverse health effects could be more consequential for Black women.
60% of the women who reported using straighteners or relaxers in the last year were Black women. So the burden of this exposure really falls to the population of Black women.
Despite a growing movement toward more natural hairstyles,
All right, then they all use all mulattoes in this show. I should have picked the other one.
Oh
I
yeah,
guess.
afros are beautiful. Natural hair is beautiful.
Chancellor Makanjuola says
those are the risk factors that I now have to look out for because, again, this was something I have had put in my hair and repeatedly over time.
While it's not known what brands or chemicals are behind the raised cancer risk, researchers
probably all of them, I'm sure. All right, we don't know which brands are, so that would mean all of them probably.
Behind the raised cancer risk, researchers say straighteners could be riskier than other hair products because they can cause abrasions and burns on the scalp, possibly making it easier for dangerous ingredients to enter the body. This latest study isn't the first to claim chemical straighteners may be harmful to your health. The products have previously been linked to higher chances of breast and ovarian cancer. Now this new risk adding to a growing list of potential dangers.
It's like 4 different kinds of risk for cancer, right? And we understand that whole, like, you know, like if you don't understand, just with Black women dealing with hair issues, you know what I'm saying, or other kind of issues, you know what I'm saying, that may arise in the world. And then, you know, like they said, they go there and then they get this stuff put onto their head. So in real life, it's even worse than, you know what I'm saying, what they made it seem like. They just made you calm in the movie, you know what I'm saying? But in real life, you know what I'm saying, I guess it is what it is, right? Also, I will go to this one first. All right, I'll talk about this one first. They also had, let me see. So, oh yeah, they also had, you know, a thing about the music, how the music keeps you affected and stuff like that, you know, and how the music puts you in a trance and puts you in the mood. Like you listen to some like kill in word, then you more likely to, you know what I'm saying, like on some, they study you, like of course they study everything that you do, like, you know what I'm saying, to create the replicas that they have been producing. Right, and we got the real life examples of that yesterday. No offense to nobody, it's just for the purposes of this, you know, understanding. But we saw a real life example, but you know, it wasn't just that, because it was like, you know, with the music, and then, you know, let's just, you know, go to like the real world example. I ain't even gonna play this. I could just skip through it, but you know, and this is drill music, but then there was trap music, and then there was gangster music, right? I remember in the 60s, they did what they were saying about what they were saying about, but, you know, the effects about this on your brain and your community, and like, you know, even in the movie, I would say like the songs they was playing there, like one dude was like, "Y'all would have got trapped in the club right there. That's where I would have died."
Drill music has found its way to almost every major city, even those not in the US. A genre that was birthed in the gritty streets of the Southside Chicago, or known as Chirac, has become one of the most popular genres out, with the genre gathering a massive...
All right, and y'all know all about that, you know what I'm saying? But let's not forget there was a such thing as trap music and gangster rap, you know what I'm saying? All of that. And it's just an interesting concept that it mentioned. And I'm like I said, we could have had more about it, but I'm not. I ain't even gonna play this song, but just for understanding, you know what I'm saying? This is a good song right now as the Raw X, you know what I'm saying? So speaking of music, you know what I'm saying? But all right, so and then another thing they was talking about, right? The stuff in the chicken, you know what I'm saying, which is funny, because even if you look at a real world example of that, I don't know if y'all like remember, you know what I'm saying? This NWA, yep. Like yeah. But yeah, so they also mentioned they was putting stuff in the food, like the fried chicken and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like crack, and they was putting some kind of ingredients that was just making the people like laugh and like be crazy and stuff like that, and forget about their problems, and you know what I'm saying, like a a drug, But I don't know if you remember this in real life, on the real life side of things, that Popeyes thing, right? I still haven't had one of those, you know what I'm saying? Sandwiches yet.
Fist fights, car crashes, even a murder. Yeah, this is gonna.
Oh yeah, I knew you knew about that, Bobby. I knew you knew about that, John.
Sound pretty ridiculous, but all of that is over a chicken sandwich.
Some people are losing their minds over the newest offering from Popeyes. Greg Mills, seriously?
Or you see all the cars that are right here. It's been like this all day long, and yep, all because of a chicken sandwich.
It's really good. I mean, it's worth it.
Popeye's chicken sandwich. Fans say it's worth it. Worth a long wait in line.
Like 30 to 45 minutes.
Or at the drive-thru.
I've been here for about 20 minutes.
But is it worth the wait for this crunchy chicken sandwich if you crunch your...
How many of y'all waited, and what is it worth the wait? That's my question to y'all. Even if you watch it later, so you just put it in the chat. Was it worth the wait?
Car in the process. Is this chicken sandwich worth a life? A man was killed after cutting line in Maryland just to get one of these chicken sandwiches.
If you want to go in front of me, go ahead. I ain't tripping. I ain't finna lose my life over a chicken sandwich.
Check out this Popeyes pandemonium. Another Popeyes in Maryland. Guy jumps over the counter and attacks the manager because they ran out of chicken. When this guy doesn't get his...
No, I don't know, but I rode past Popeyes when it was happening. There was long ass lines at the one I was around, you know what I'm saying? For a while, and I don't know what made us get like on a wave of things. I don't know like where the trends be coming from, but like, yo, we be on them.
He jumps through the drive-through window.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I never had one. I probably only went to like Popeyes once since like this was like 3 years ago. That seemed like last year or something, but it just spoke about the chicken. I just thought it was funny.
This chicken craze is, well,
crazy, man.
Here at La Brea, is it worth it?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Welcome to
All right, I see. There you go. There you go. You see that You see that, Bobby? A young brother right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
David Alexander waits longer than 30 minutes. Is it worth it?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Welcome to Popeye.
Well, I guess he was in line, But unfortunately, right? In real life, these are some of the consequences for our diets, and stuff that we got to talk about, and like how diabetes and stuff is more prevalent.
Control the CDC. Prevalence of diagnosed diabetes, about 12% of blacks, about 7% of whites. When it comes to death rates, from diabetes per 100,000 people, 39% for blacks, 19% for whites. Those are some big differences in those numbers. Why? What is going on there?
Well, it's not shocking. I think.
Well, we don't need his diagnosis, right? We understand why, right? And yes, it is definitely linked to the things that you ingest, the exercise that you get. These are the real life They was just laughing in the movie, but in real life, this is another way of keeping you wherever that you are. You know what I'm saying? Sick and destitute, and what I'm saying, on your. And we understand why. We don't understand why. Like, they need more vitamin D than you. You probably have too much in. I don't know, but I do know you need different diets and different nutritions in your body, and so But we all understand that, and I know that this is real because I know my mom has to do that. My aunts and stuff like that. I know way too many people who was in this situation, so I know that this is definitely a real effect in real life. You feel me? So nobody got to tell me that. Let me see.
From the American Diabetes Association, I was looking at a documentary.
My bad. Let me stop. Hopefully, I shouldn't have probably did that. So you eat
Is that what you'll hear from the American Diabetes Association? I was looking at a documentary, and they went to the chief medical officer of the American Diabetes Association and asked him, is there a relationship between diet and diabetes? And the man was stumbling around. Stumbling around. That's evil. You're stumbling around over something so simple. And here I am, a preacher.
A damn preacher. Here I am, just this regular dude saying, yeah, I know that. But he's stumbling, right? Stumbling. But that's the thing, Bobby, man. Our food consumption, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta eat the right things. You feel me? Like, I'm not saying like don't indulge with them, but like I don't want my peoples to be like sick and stuff.
I felt it was very important to confront the diabetes crisis in America. You have 30 million people, 30 million adults who suffer from diabetes, 84 who suffer from pre-diabetes. A huge number of my family members have type 2 diabetes. My great aunt died from complications from diabetes, as did my grandmother. The level to which it affects the African American and the Hispanic communities, the sort of silence that it.
That's part of the program, and black and certain group their communities
is met with the disease diagnosis.
That's one thing that they made sure to upload in the clones with your coon chip installed when they throw you back on the street.
And the fact that there is not a wealth of knowledge and resources out there to help people to manage the disease.
Yeah, me too, Bobby. Like, and I know because I still be eating hamburgers and pizza and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely eating like the right things more so now.
And live with the disease just to sort of wait out a sort of.
All right. She said something else.
Yes, Aunt so-and-so got the sugar. She got the sugar, and then nobody did anything. Right. We continued to eat our cornbread and the dumplings, which, we have to change our relationships, our relationship with food. We have to change our relationship, how we see our health, and going to the doctor on a regular basis. And we need to create a support group within our community to help each other and not just sort of feel like, once we get the diagnosis of the disease, that we just sort of have to wait to see that our fate is going to be just like Auntie so-and-so who went in the back room and got her leg amputated. You can manage the disease. When we were growing up, we always.
Right. That's true. Yeah, what up, highly favorite? Yeah, what up, First Rifleman? that's good that you have that, and just for us, like they used to not do it, so at some point they was not cloning us, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really have to show this one, but this is a black owned farm, and they trying to have a store and all that, and this is one of the like kind of death blows to like black businesses, because when they start putting like Woolworth or whatever them stores was called, and the communities put in giving out products at a lesser price, it kind of killed the business for the black store owners in these neighborhoods, and it like just one of many things is probably the death blow, the final blow, what I'm saying, that put them all the way out, you feel me? But they was like, these dollar stores is kind of doing the same thing today, to like the grocery stores in certain neighborhoods, right? Because you wouldn't go there to get fruit and vegetables, like trust me, you're gonna go somewhere else to go get fruit and vegetables. But what about the people that can't go get nowhere else? And you telling them this, and like of course they're gonna go to where it's cheaper that they can get to. But all of this stuff, of course they get you to go into their stores, and they use certain stores like this to kind of, make it even worse,
Botley has shopped at Family Food Center in Toledo, Ohio since she was 4 years old.
This is the place to be. Once you find something that you love and treat you with respect.
But today, the 58-year-old worries dollar stores are now threatening this local staple.
Because it'd be a store to help the community, but it's taken from the community.
At the start of 2022, dollar stores together operated more than 34,000 stores nationwide. That's more than McDonald's, Walmart, Target, and Starbucks combined. Right here in Toledo, Ohio, when it comes to dollar stores, there are 1, here's another, 2, and here's another one, number 3. Altogether, over 35. In March, advocacy group the Institute for Local Self-Reliance published a study on the impact of dollar stores on predominantly rural, low-income, Black and Latino neighborhoods. Its findings?
When they come into a community, they tend to just pull just enough of the sales away from that grocery store.
We have to call the suppliers, ask them for prices, ask them for deals, and they don't offer us as good deals as the big chains.
Here you go, ma'am. Thank you. Now a small community in Toledo, led by senior pastor Donald Perryman, is fighting this effort.
This was the pride of Toledo. It was a community where Black dollars circulated, Black wealth developed, Black professionals were.
And today, what is it like?
Deserted and abandoned.
Perryman hopes Toledo will join the more than 50 cities already enacting laws limiting dollar store expansion. The study also...
No, did you hear what I said? These not even the Black owned ones. These are the stores in the Black communities, you know what I'm saying? Not even the Black owned ones, And on top of that, like I said, when you go to the store, are you going to go get fruit and vegetables from the store that's in the hood? You know what I'm saying? And they'll like I said, those not even the Black owned ones. These is like the Kroger's or other places like today. But what I said was back in the day, that's what put them out of business back in the 60s and all that quote unquote integration stuff, like when they start letting them go shop at Woolworth or all go in their stores and all of that stuff. And then on top of that, even when they had convenience stores in Black neighborhoods, just like, the dude that killed Emmett Till, he had a store in a Black neighborhood, you feel me? So he took Black dollars, but you see what his mindset was, right? But all of them stores got cut out by the big chain stores, you feel me? And it leads to even more stuff, which is, of course, by design, but whatever.
Also found that as local groceries get squeezed out, neighborhoods are left with food deserts, areas with limited access to affordable, nutritious food. Even when a Dollar General has fresh produce, it's not a full supply, correct?
Correct. So we have about 60.
All right. So, we saw the preacher there, right? And one thing that did happen is they had they went to the church, you know what I'm saying? and there was the preachers, you know what I'm saying, like, who was telling them to stay in this and stay in that, and it's kind of funny, you know. And I had this joint, you know, talking about the preachers, you know what I'm saying. These are the kind of preachers that you got, you know what I'm
saying. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Amen.
It's like they be calling them.
I feel like preaching in here. Take me to A flat. I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. And if I have to beg, take me up. I ain't don't feel nothing wrong with a little Jesus praise. I don't feel that. I was going to say but the grind, but I didn't say need some faith, more faith, more faith, more faith. I fell down, but I'm still trucking. I fell down, but I'm still going. Y'all don't understand when God gets a hold of.
Right, so they probably is like clone, but you already know that is like a multi-billion-dollar industry. What up, Buwana? So y'all, I'm just, like I said, I'm finishing what I was trying to do yesterday, you know what I'm saying? So if you watch this whole thing, it'll make more sense, right? But right, that's what people call it when you tell me when we bring up HBCUs. It's this one right here. That's what people call it.
I fell down, but I'm still trucking. I fell.
Yeah, but you know, speaking of, you know, black, and y'all already know what come next. I ain't gonna even play it, but y'all know what come next after the preacher keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying. But in the movie, you know what I'm saying, the preacher was like, "Yo, it don't matter if your light bill due." You know what I'm saying? Just submit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, white Jesus save us. You know, we had to have the white Jesus. I guess they ain't like this one, you know what I'm saying? I can't be talking about, you know, white Jesus. Now it's gonna freeze up. I don't even know if y'all can hear me. Oh man, I shouldn't have talked about you know what I'm saying, Jesus. But you know, like I said, you know, we did see some examples of that yesterday. All right, now hold on. Yeah, I don't know. It's straight freezing up. I'm trying to go to the next thing. But you know, yeah, that's when it comes to, like, you know what I'm saying, the black churches, you know, and I thought that was like an interesting part of it right there. Oh yeah, so y'all know what come next. I ain't even gonna play this thing right here, but y'all know what come next. And then the preacher be like, "Yo, now you know we're gonna pass around this collection plate, and if you feel a blessing in your heart, you know, pass down $1 or $2, you know." And so meanwhile, the black churches today is like, you know, got this dude up in there. And, you know, I ain't even bring up, you know, the, you know, money that is raised or all of that stuff, but it's just the politics that's in the black church of today, you know, because, you know, they use your stuff against you.
I got raised in the black church. He knows I'm not kidding.
I got my education for real in the black church. And that's not hyperbole, it's a fact.
Come on, clap your hands, all these people. Now let's take out with a voice of
So black churches are still doing their thing. They just, you know, oh yeah, and they bring my man's in here too. But you know, it's become definitely it still is a business process right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what the churches are today. You know. Now, I'm not saying every single church, all right? You know what I'm saying? Maybe your pastor is like different, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like the industry of churches in America, you know. Where you gonna find a black man standing next to that talking about some I forgive you? Oh man. Now I know y'all be like, oh yeah, well that's Trump and all of that, but you know, y'all go to y'all local churches, y'all gonna see the same thing, right? And of course these fools, you know. Let me hurry up so I can get up off of here.
God, we thank you for an opportunity to speak about the hearts of those who sometimes cannot fight for themselves.
The reaction was fast and furious, and it erupted on social media moments after John Gray, pastor of a mega church in South Carolina, was asked. But their meeting got a visceral reaction, venting their anger. I'm so disappointed in social media after his meeting with the president, defending his decision to go.
I did not go as a politician, nor did I go under partisan rhetoric. I'm not a Democrat, nor a Republican, nor an independent. I'm a Christian.
Now, like I said, one thing that's interesting is when you listen to the speech patterns of people, you can kind of pick up on a lot of stuff, you know. Certain people talk with certain rhythms, or, you know, certain, you know, it's people get like trained in this, you know. So like, you know, that's an interesting thing about, you know, certain pastors, you know, and how they preach. And then there are a lot of pastors who know what they're doing, you know what I'm saying? It's their job, you know. But I'm just saying, right? It was not like, you know, like the church, whenever they have started to clone us, you know what I'm saying? That's when it changed, right?
If there's anybody who thinks they're above praying for people who sometimes they may not agree with, then you don't have the heart of Christ.
Still,
all right, yeah. So you can go meet with Joe Biden or Trump if you want.
some of Gray's fellow.
It's just interesting, like, you know, only when they bring their hot sauce in their bags with them, and you know what I'm saying, to be like, yeah, Negroes, vote for me. We got you in this black church. Come on in, you know. But, you know, it's true. You got to do that. All right, so you know what? I'm not even gonna play this one, bro. I am gonna play this one because it's like messed up, but I
This
guess
is not
that's
a water bottle. It's an air-up bottle that flavors ordinary water.
I guess that's it for the
Demonstrations at the courthouse were in response to an incident right here at the Capitol more than 2 years ago amid high racial tensions and the pandemic. This is how Corinne Prescott spent her 42nd birthday.
She committed a hate crime in front of an officer on Capitol grounds.
no, yeah. So what would be the thing that you want to achieve when you meet with them? What would you ask for?
On camera, and her charges are wiped clean.
Providing emotional testimony inside Superior Court.
I'm disgusted and I'm disappointed. I did everything the right way.
Court marshals escorting Yulia.
She did everything. She met with the local politicians. She met with the white boy. She did everything the right way.
Disappointed. I did everything the right way.
Court marshals escorting Yulia Gilshian after hate crime charges against her were dismissed Friday.
I'm asking the court to enter the appropriate dismissal.
The same day a mob stormed the U.S. Capitol in 2021, Black Lives Matter suffered emotional.
So she spit on her, you know what I'm saying, and she was trying to get her brought up on charges and stuff like that. So, you know, but they ain't really had nothing to do with that. I just was gonna show that. I probably shouldn't even show that, but Oh yeah, and I won't even play this one either because I'm about to get up off here anyway. But this is, the movie part 2, you know what I'm saying? The clones overseas, you know what I'm saying? Because we clones everywhere by this point, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll be different this time, you know what I'm saying? Maybe this version of us will do the same thing over and over and get a different result. Maybe we will. I don't know. But you know what? That's all I wanted to say, right? And I would put the link in there, but I ain't got time to nah, well, not that I'm tired. I've been on here for a minute and I gotta do what I gotta do. Like, yeah, it's not the weekend for me. I just had to do it. And plus, y'all ain't gonna be talking about nothing anyway. You know what I'm saying? I had to finish what I wanted to say yesterday because y'all won't talk about nothing. And plus, I don't think y'all even seen the movie that I was even talking about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all be tripping. Y'all be tripping. But that was a good example, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't even gonna get into that. Nah. You know what? And this is what I want to do because, like I said, man, y'all is controlled by the frequencies out there, you know what I'm saying? And we the replicas, you know what I'm saying? But now that I realize that y'all probably not even real, it makes more sense now that y'all keep saying the same things that y'all say. Yeah, I believe it. Most of most of us is cloned out by now. We probably been clones for generations because they damn sure made us how they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I talked about all the things like, the stuff they put in the hair products, you know what I'm saying? The even the Popeyes John when they had the thing about chicken, but how that affects our health and doing more things to be important about our health and understanding that there are black owned farms and they can't even get like food to the store, so they waste a lot of food, and then we also looking for it, and then the problem is it's hard to like transport it or get it from here to there. But there are like black people who have trucks and truck companies, and you know what I'm saying, maybe there can be something that could be worked out, you know what I'm saying? And even the brothers that be talking about like, they want to have a grocery store, I hope they do. But that's all of this stuff. Yeah, I think y'all definitely y'all shown the whole clone thing yesterday. That's why I'm like, yo, damn, that movie might be real. It's explaining a whole lot now. I see what's going on. But yo, I appreciate y'all for listening. Shouts out to my brother Bobby in the building. Ain't even know that was Bobby. Highly favorite Bawana. A first rifleman came through. My brother Black Megas in the building. Oh yeah, man. And Black Megas, put that radio station in the chat, because it's probably gonna be next weekend. I'm gonna try to make it for next weekend. We up to the 1811 rebellion in Louisiana. That's one of the things that happened. Where we wasn't replicas. This is why they had to probably make us replicas, you know what I'm saying? Where they had to institute this stuff and put it in your communities and recreate the same people over and over, you know what I'm saying? And take your DNA for cloning you. Oh yeah. I think I seen that too. Yeah, this is the radio station, Black Megas. Y'all check that out. I think Black Megas about to be on there talking live. I'm definitely gonna go on there with him to definitely show some support. And it's supposed to be the first rifleman. It's hard for me to believe you because you are probably the most suspect of any of us of being a clone in here. Maybe next Thursday. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Probably next Thursday. I'll let y'all know. I mean, I'll do something to let y'all know. But anyway, man, yo, I gotta get out of here, you know what I'm saying? But I want to play a last thing, and this is pretty long, so I understand if y'all leave. But like I said, music was a big thing in the thing, and I talked about because y'all like this drill music, but what about the gangster music that Bakari used to listen to, or the pimp music he used to listen to, or what I'm saying, when Bawana was listening to what I'm saying, gangster rap in the 90s, or what I'm saying, when I was listening to trap music in the 2000s, you know what I'm saying? So y'all can blame them if y'all want to. But speaking of music, I'm going to play this last song, you know what I'm saying, just because of social programming. So salute to all of y'all. I appreciate y'all coming through. So
High tonight, high tonight, high tonight, high tonight. I'm at the house on the couch and I'm trying to relax. A wet towel on my neck because I'm having a flashback. Visions in my mind about the white folks I done away. I just killed a cracker and his kids the other day. He was in my neighborhood walking with his children. I hate the motherfuckers. I figure I kill them to take out some anger that's been trapped inside of me. From slavery, years of the white man oppressing me. I stuck up on his ass fast to attack. I put on my shank, I stuck a heart to his back. I said, move, motherfucker, and I stick you with the quickness. And you'll be found in the bushes, dickless. He said, I got a wife and kids, I don't give a fuck. Hurry up and give me your money before you get stuck. He made a move too fast. I'm an Axel Muhammad, so with the quickness, I stuck his ass 5 times. His guts feel like chickens. I emptied his pockets and I went after his children. The little white bitch was crying for fear. I put my knife to her throat and cut her devil ass ear to ear. She had a brother, 4 years old. Well, he ain't gonna make 5 because he ain't alive no more. I'm drenched in blood, I had to cut, kept my knife in my hand, walked away like a nut. I seen a roller, ghetto patroller, hit the corner. He flashed a light on me, he said, freezing, you're a goner. Something clicked in my mind, run as fast as you can. I had a gun in my pocket, a bloody knife in my hand. So I broke to the left up on the side of the house. I put my knife away, that's when I pulled my gun out. Looked around the house, the cop was calling for backup. My pistol popped, the cop dropped and shot him in the back of the head. Now that's 4 motherfuckers dead, laying in a puddle of red. I said, all the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. All the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. I had to get to my house, I knew his backup was coming. I walked over to the pig, I took his gun and started running down a motherfucking dark ass back streets. I know they gon' be after me, trying to capture me, and I know I gotta get away. If I don't, they gonna lock me up in CYA. So I'm thinking of a plan. I don't wanna be in the pen for killing a policeman and some motherfucking white folks. I seen a white bitch coming out of the house, I grabbed her ass by the throat, said we going back in your house, and if you open up your mouth, I'll blow your goddamn brains out. We got into a house, she said, are you gonna kill me? Is this a stick up? Do you want my money? I pulled out my gun, the hoe said please. I shot her in the chest and took a goddamn car keys. Walked outside, jumped in a Trans Am, wondering if the police know who I am. I'm halfway to the house, I seen a motherfucking cop. Now he's behind me, telling me to stop. I thought to myself, I should've shot her in the head. She lived long enough to call the goddamn feds. Now I'm in a high-speed car chase, so race, I better pick up the motherfucking pace. Cause if I get snatched, if I let them catch me, they slam me on my back, then they'll kick me in my face, G. But I'm not taking that bullshit. Them motherfucking devils don't know who they fucking with. I'm a motherfucking psycho, and police is people I don't like, so I'm not stopping. I keep smashing. The car is stolen, I don't care about crashing. I hit a cone up, doing 90, I lost control. I hit a pole, but I bounced. They couldn't find me. You know that I got away. I chilled on the under at the house until the next day. In the morning, in the paper was a warning. It said, if you're white, you better hide tonight. It said, all the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. All the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight,
high tonight. I'm at the house, I turned on the tube to watch the news. The reporter said 5 white folks found dead the night before last, and a suspect got away in a car crash. They couldn't place no positive identity, so that tells me I got away scot-free. I'm gonna pull another move tonight, cause I don't feel right without blood on my knife. I turned off the TV, I got dressed in my black, I put my knife in my sack, I got 2 clips from my dad, walked outside, jumped in my ride, I had a foot take a gas, so I spotted off fast. I stopped at the liquor store, got a half pint of Hindu, thinking who I'm gonna put my knife into. The time is approximately 11:33. I'm gonna go to Berkeley and kill me a hit beat. So now I'm on the freeway, all by myself, so I let the tape play. And I'm bumping that crazy shit by the ghetto boys, the mind of a lunatic, and it's getting me pumped. I keep hitting the drink, so I'm getting kinda drunk. It's something about the Trinity that gives me the tendency to wanna tear everything away off your back, cut you fast from your throat to the crack of your ass. From the throat to the crack of your ass. I read the sign that said Berkeley a half a mile. I started to smile and I kept on drinking, thinking in my mind about white folks screaming. I saw another sign and I checked it. It said Berkeley, the next exit. It seemed like a second when the exit came. Turned on my blinkers and switched the lane. I got off the freeway bumping Ice Cube. Pump cause I'm drunk now, I'm looking for a double deuce. Rolling down a back street side, slow down. I saw 2 white freaks and they looking like witches. Now I'm thinking in my mind how much I like to kill white bitch. So then I jumped out, put my gun, went try to run, so I took a devil ass out. Told her to lay face down on the ground and don't make a motherfucking sound. I pulled out my knife, I kicked the hoe in the head, then I stabbed her in the back twice, but I still ain't satisfied. So I said, fuck this, jumped in the cutlass, cause I'ma make all the Peckerwoods hide. Make them all hide. I said all the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. All the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. Locked in the jail cause a white man got me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. I'm locked in the jail cause a white man got me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. I went to court and the judge detained me. Fuck a
All right, yeah. Don't worry about it, Bobby. They are the clones. They have been programmed to only be able to listen to black men talking about killing each other, right? Because if this was, you know what I'm saying, some gangster rap that they listen to, it'd be fine. Like, oh, this isn't too violent. This is what I'm programmed to listen to. So, like, you know, it's the last of the clone. We know that brother wasn't a clone right there. So, you know, it's hard to explain. So, you know, the replicas have taken over. That's all I can say. So I appreciate y'all. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.